On a bright December afternoon, the Ambassadors Club of Slovenia in Belgium held its second annual economic event in Brussels. The club is a dynamic driver of bilateral trade between Slovenia and Belgium. More than 100 business people from a broad range of sectors in the two EU member states gathered to hear the success story so far and about the key role the Ambassadors Club is set to play in Europe's economic future.
The Ambassadors Club intention is to become the new economic motor for developing and establishing new businesses between Belgium and Slovenia. The very moment we do it on a bilateral level, but this is just a start.
It quickly became clear that there are plenty of bilateral business opportunities and that the Belgian government is keen to encourage trade in both directions.
What's happening in Slovenia now is very interesting because there's a privatization going on. So there are a lot of opportunities for trade for Belgian companies going there. But in the near future, I see many companies of Slovenia having interest for Belgium and wanting to invest in Belgium because they will start to trade with Belgium, export their products. And once they will say, okay, now I have to do it myself and I want a European distribution center, for example. And then they can start doing business effectively in Belgium with their own subsidiary. And then we get in the picture by telling them, okay, you can get an advanced decision on that so that you know exactly what is going to happen on the tax side in Belgium.
Setting up a business in a new country, even one that is a fellow EU member state, is not always easy. There are many factors to be considered and costs to be taken into account. So when it comes to the tax situation, what's the best way to win?
Tax is not football. Yeah. That's why you cannot easily compare that Belgium is better than Slovenia or Slovenia is better than Belgium. It's all very dependent on the business case. But what is true that in nowadays world, countries compete. They compete for investments. You can never simply multiply by a tax rate. You need to take into account a lot of things. Tax incentives, tax regimes, different deductions. And then afterwards you see that overall tax burden for profit tax is lower in Belgium than in Slovenia, despite the tax rate is higher. Of course, you need to pay a lot of labor tax in Belgium, which is usually more labor tax in Belgium than in Slovenia. But for profit tax, you pay less here. But of course, it depends on your business.
While the tax situation is clearly important, there are also other economic factors to consider. So, looking to the future, what are the trends that will make investing in Slovenia attractive and competitive?
We can certainly talk about, for example, the labor cost, which is increasing, but compared to other countries around Slovenia, it's actually getting better. Another thing we can look at is the corporate income tax, which is getting a lot lower. Over the last 8 years, they probably went down by 8%. And another thing that is encouraging in Slovenia is the generally good health of companies over there. Their liquidity ratio, their solvency is very good, very comparable to the ones in Belgium. So if you do business in Belgium, you should not have problem doing business in Slovenia.
One well-known Belgian company that has a global profile has already made the move into Slovenia. In 2013, the Bolio International Group, which is involved in all aspects of floor coverings, acquired the Slovenian textile company Utex. This has been a success story from the very outset, both economically and in terms of a high-quality workforce.
When you do an acquisition, you always, first of all, you need to have a business case. 1 + 1 should always equal 3 and even more. So for Utex, it was certainly the case. It was a perfect fit for us to increase our, worldwide footprint. Secondly, what we were surprised by was the quality of the people in Utex. So the workforce was very skilled, very reliable management, and we're quite amazed by that. And it's, in the end, when you do an acquisition, it's people that counts, because people are making the business and people are making the business profitable.
The annual event was also a time for participants to get to know each other, make vital business connections, and reflect on the positive economic role played by the Ambassadors Club of Slovenia in Belgium.
It's very good because it gives an excellent opportunity for different businessmen from both sides to meet each other. At these times it's very difficult to find a good opportunity, and Barbara and her club is really making it very easy for businessmen to find a new opportunity, a new business and new projects.
For us as a law firm, it is very useful to be involved in a club like the Ambassadors Club. Certainly we are working for international clients, international companies, and in this case we try to facilitate the relationship between Slovenian companies and with the Belgian companies.
It's fun to put your effort and your ideas into a new market and new opportunities.
So, can the Ambassadors Club help further grow Europe's economy?
We have to be positive, we have to think positive, and the answer is yes.
The Ambassadors Club is now working with the platform designers Starfish MRM to help tell its story. For Starfish and the Ambassadors Club, communicating with potential clients is all about engagement, collaboration and empowerment. And in recent times, the number of business links created clearly shows that the model is working well and in healthy shape.
The biggest success is in 3 weeks, 250 companies submitted their company profiles, and among these almost 250 companies are now discussing new business. What we do here is establishing concrete partnerships in a very short time, and this is what I call the major success.